Introduction. My name is Steph. I am 25 years old. Many people look at my life and think it is perfect. I have a handsome husband named Alex. We live in a very big white house with a beautiful garden. Alex has an important job and makes a lot of money. We have new, expensive cars. On social media, our photos get many likes. Everyone says, "Steph, you are so lucky." But what people see is only a picture. My big house is not a warm home, it is just a building. It feels cold inside, even in the summer. Alex is handsome, but he rarely looks at me. When he comes home, his eyes are usually on his phone or his laptop. He talks about his work, his money, and his success. He never asks me about my day. He never asks what I think or how I feel. I am like a beautiful vase in his big house. Nice to look at, but empty inside. I feel very empty. Alex treats me like one of his possessions. He cares only about his public image. He wants people to think he is a perfect man with a perfect life. I am just part of that perfect picture for him. One evening, Alex looked up from his phone. "Steph," he said, his voice flat. "We have a company party this Saturday. You must come with me." "Okay, I will be there," I said. It was hard to sound happy. He looked at me with cold, critical eyes. "You need to look perfect for this party. Wear the blue dress. And put on the diamond necklace and earrings I bought you. This is very important for my image." He did not say our image. He said my image. It was not a request, it was a clear order. He did not care about my feelings. He only cared about how I would make him look to other people. I went to our large closet and found the blue dress. It was beautiful and expensive, but as I held it, a deep sadness came into my heart. I was not his wife in a real way. I was just another one of his expensive things, something to show off. A party. Saturday came. I wore the blue dress and the beautiful, heavy diamonds. I looked in the mirror. A lovely woman looked back at me, but she also looked very sad. At the party, the big room was full of many rich people. They wore expensive clothes. The music was loud, and people laughed loudly. Their laughs sounded fake to me. Alex took my arm. He walked me around the room. He introduced me to his business partners. "This is my lovely wife, Steph," he would say. Then he would turn away from me. He would talk about his business with the men. I just stood there next to him. I smiled, but my face started to hurt. I felt very alone, even though many people were around me. I wanted a moment by myself. I walked to a quiet corner of the room. It was near the garden doors. My hand was shaking because I felt so nervous. My small, silver purse fell from my fingers. It dropped to the floor. Everything inside spilled out. My lipstick, my keys, and my phone were on the ground. "Oh no," I said softly. Before I could bend down, a man was there. He kneeled to help me. "Let me help you," he said. His voice was warm and kind. He picked up my things. He put them back into my purse. Then he stood up and gave the purse to me. I looked at him for the first time. He was not wearing an expensive suit like the other men. He wore a simple black shirt. It was the uniform for the party staff, but his eyes were different. They were kind. They were a warm brown color. He looked at me, not at my dress or my diamonds. "Thank you very much," I said to him. "It's no problem," he replied with a smile. "My name is Monty." "I'm Steph," I said. For a short time, we just stood there. The loud party seemed far away from us. In his eyes, I saw something I had not seen for a long time. It was real kindness. Then Alex's loud voice came. "Steph, where are you? Come here," he called my name loudly. I had to go back to him. "Thank you again, Monty," I said quickly. I hurried back to my husband's side, but for the rest of the night, I could not forget the man with the kind eyes. He was different from Alex. He made me feel different. 3, a small lie. For the next few days, I thought only about Monty. His kind smile was like a small light in my life, which felt cold and gray. I thought about our short talk many times. It seemed silly. He was just a man who helped me, but it felt like something more important. I had never felt such a real connection with anyone before, not even with Alex. I knew I wanted to see Monty again. I needed a good reason. I remembered my thin scarf from the party. It was a light blue scarf, one that I often wore. I could say I lost it there. It was a small lie, a very small one, but my heart beat quickly with excitement. The idea of seeing him again made me feel alive. I found the event company's name online. It was called Events by Design. I wrote down the address. The next morning, I drove my big, expensive car to their small office. It was in a normal part of the city, not like the fancy areas where Alex had his office or our big house. Being there felt strange. I walked inside and my hands felt cold, even though it was a warm day. My heart was beating fast. Then I saw him. He was sitting at a desk looking at some papers. He wore a simple shirt, not the uniform from the party. He looked up and his eyes opened wide when he saw me. He looked very surprised. "Steph," he asked, standing up from his chair. "What are you doing here?" I think I lost my scarf at the party on Saturday," I said. My face felt warm and I hoped he believed me. "It was a light blue one." He smiled his warm smile. "Let me look for it," he said. He walked to a room behind the office, a storage room, to check. While he was gone, I looked at his desk. There were many drawings on small pieces of paper. They were beautiful pictures of city streets and people's faces. He was clearly very talented. He was an artist, not just event staff. He came back after a few minutes. "I am sorry," he said. "I cannot find your scarf anywhere. Maybe it was found by someone else." "Oh, that is okay," I said. I felt a little sad that my excuse was gone, but I was still there. "Would you like some coffee?" he asked, pointing to a small machine in the corner. "It is from a machine not very special, but it is warm." "Yes, please," I said. "I would love some." He made me coffee in a simple paper cup. We sat at a small table near his desk and talked for about 20 minutes. We did not talk about money or big houses or important jobs. We talked about his art. He told me about his dreams to paint full-time. I told him I loved old books and I dreamed of having my own small bookstore one day. He truly listened to me. He asked me about my favorite stories and why I loved them. For the first time in many years, I felt like a real person. I felt like Steph, not Alex's wife. When I left the office, I felt a little guilty about my small lie. But I also felt very happy. It was a small, secret happiness, and it was only mine. It was a feeling I had not known for a very long time. The broken mirror. My small secret with Monty made my life with Alex even harder to accept. The perfect picture of our marriage was starting to crack, and I could see the ugly truth behind it. Before, I just felt empty. Now, I felt a new kind of sadness because I knew what real connection felt like. My days at home felt colder, and Alex's words felt sharper. One evening, I made pasta for dinner. I had spent time choosing the ingredients and cooking it carefully. Alex came home late, as he often did. He walked into the kitchen looking tired and annoyed. He looked at the plate of food on the table and his face was angry. "Pasta? Again? You know I don't like this sauce," he said, his voice loud and unhappy. "I'm sorry, Alex, I thought you liked it," I said quietly. My voice was very small. Alex pushed the plate away from him. "You never listen," he said. "It's a simple thing. Why can't you do a simple thing right?" He made me feel small and stupid, like a child who had done something wrong. He went into his office and slammed the door. I ate my dinner alone, tears falling into my food, feeling very unhappy. A few days later, I was looking at Monty's art on my tablet. He had an online page with his drawings. They were full of life and feeling, very different from the cold walls of my house. I felt a gentle warmth inside me as I looked at them. I was smiling as I looked at a beautiful sketch of a small cafe, imagining myself there, safe and calm. Alex walked into the room without me hearing him. His steps were quiet, but his voice was not. "What is that?" he asked, his voice sharp and sudden. He took the tablet from my hands roughly. He looked at the drawing with a disgusted look on his face, as if it was something dirty. "It's just some art I found online," I said, my heart pounding fast. He laughed a cold, cruel laugh. "This is garbage. Why are you wasting your time looking at this junk? It's drawn by some poor nobody." His words hurt me more than the angry words about the pasta. He was not just insulting the art, he was insulting Monty. He was insulting the small piece of happiness I had found, the real part of me. In that moment, I saw Alex clearly. He was not just cold, he was cruel. My marriage was not a perfect picture. It was a broken mirror, and I did not like the reflection I saw. The pieces of the mirror showed only sadness and a future that looked dark. 5. A secret meeting. Steph felt like she was in a cage. It was a beautiful cage, but still a cage. She needed to get out and breathe. She remembered Monty had told her about a place he liked. It was the City Art Gallery. He said it was quiet and peaceful there. He often went there on his lunch break. On a Tuesday afternoon, Steph told her husband, Alex, that she was going shopping. But she did not go to the shops. Instead, she drove her car to the art gallery. Her hands shook a little as she walked inside the big building. The rooms were large and full of paintings. It was very quiet. Steph walked slowly, looking at the art. She tried to calm her fast-beating heart. Then she saw him. Monty was standing in front of a big painting of a stormy sea. He was looking at it very carefully. It felt like fate. Steph walked closer. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" she said softly. Monty turned. A big smile lit his face. "Steph, I can't believe it. What are you doing here?" He asked. "You said you liked this place," Steph confessed. They spent the whole afternoon together. They walked through every room in the gallery. Monty told Steph about the painters. Steph told Monty how the paintings made her feel. He listened very carefully, as if her words were the most important. After the gallery, they walked to a small park nearby. They sat on a bench. The sun was warm on their faces. They talked about everything and nothing. Monty told Steph about his dream to have his own art show one day. Steph told him about her dream to open a small bookstore. "You should do it," Monty said, looking at her seriously. "You would be great at it." No one had ever said that to Steph before. Alex always thought her dreams were silly. As they talked, Monty's hand rested on the bench, very close to Steph's. She wanted so much to reach out and hold it. The air between them was full of unspoken feelings. It was an innocent afternoon, but it felt more real and more intimate than her entire marriage. For a few hours, Steph was not Alex's wife. She was just Steph, and she was truly happy. 6. A big fight. The happy feeling did not last long. The next day, a big problem started. It was like a storm. I was in the kitchen making some tea. Alex came home. He did not say hello. He did not even look at me. He looked very angry. He threw a photo onto the clean kitchen counter. It landed with a soft sound. My eyes went to the photo. It was a picture of me and Monty. We were sitting on a park bench, just talking and smiling. Someone had taken the photo from far away, maybe with a long camera lens. "Explain this," Alex said. His voice was very quiet. It was a dangerous quiet, like a snake before it bites. My heart started to beat very fast. My hands felt cold. "We were just talking," I said. My voice was trembling like a small leaf in the wind. He is a friend, nothing more. A friend, Alex shouted. His face became very red like a tomato. His eyes were wide with anger. You are my wife. You do not have friends like him. Do you know how this makes me look? You are making my image bad. You are embarrassing me. Walking in a public park with the worker who helped at the party. He was not sad that I was with another man. He was not hurt that I might like someone else. He was only very, very angry about his good name, his reputation, his image. That was always the most important thing for him. It was never about me or us. It was always about him. You talk about looking bad. I felt a sudden strength inside me. It was a fire that had been small for a long time, but now it grew. You, who is never home, you who treats me like something you own, like a beautiful vase in your big house. I give you everything, he yelled even louder. He pointed around the big kitchen. This big house, the expensive cars, the beautiful clothes, you have a perfect life. Everyone thinks you are so lucky. This is not a life, I yelled back. My voice was loud now, too. Tears were streaming down my face, but they were tears of anger, not sadness. It is like a prison, a golden prison, but still a prison. And you, Alex, you are the person who keeps me here. You are the jailer. Alex's face changed again. His anger turned into a cruel smile. It was a cold, mean smile that made me feel sick. You think you are so good. You think you are the one who is hurt here. You think you are the victim. At least when I cheat on you, it is with someone important, not some poor artist who serves drinks at parties like your friend. His words hit me like a strong, hard punch to my stomach. When I cheat on you. He said it so easily, like it was a normal thing. He had been cheating on me. All this time, while I was so lonely in our big, cold house, he was with someone else. He had other women. In that very moment, all my bad feelings about Monty disappeared. All my guilt was gone. I was not the one who broke our marriage. There was nothing left to break. Alex had destroyed it a long time ago. The scandal was not my walk in the park with Monty. The real scandal was my whole marriage. It was all a big, terrible lie. 7, leaving home. After the big fight, I went upstairs to the bedroom. I felt very calm. I took a small bag. I packed only a few things I needed. I put in some clothes, my toothbrush, and my favorite old books. I left the expensive blue dress. I left the diamonds on the table. They were Alex's things, not mine. I walked downstairs. Alex was on the phone, talking. He did not even look at me. I walked out the front door. I closed it behind me. It was the last time I would be in that house. I got into my car and started driving. I did not know where to go. My parents lived far away. My old friends thought I had a perfect life. How could I tell them the truth? I stopped the car at the side of the road. Then the tears came. I felt very lost and very alone. I thought of one person. He was the only person I felt I could trust. My hands shook as I found his number. He gave it to me at the coffee shop, saying, "Just in case you need anything." I called him. "Monty," I whispered. My voice was broken. "Steph, are you okay? What is wrong?" he asked. His voice was full of care. I left him," I cried. "I left Alex. I do not know where to go." "Stay where you are," he said calmly. "Send me your location. I am coming to get you." About 20 minutes later, his small, old car stopped behind mine. He got out and opened my car door. He did not ask many questions. He just looked at my face and my small bag. He understood. "Come on," he said softly. "You can stay with me." He drove me to his apartment. It was a small place above a flower shop. When we went inside, it was clean and bright. His drawings and paintings were on the walls. It was simple. It was not like my big old house, but it felt warm. It felt safe. "You can have the bedroom," he said. He took my bag. "I will sleep on the couch." That night, I slept in a real bed. It was the first time in many years. It was not a bed in a cold, big house. It was a bed in a safe, warm home. A new start. A month passed quickly. Outside, things were still messy. The divorce from Alex was difficult. He was fighting me for everything. He wanted to win. But inside Monty's small apartment, I found peace. I found a part-time job at a small bookstore down the street. This was the dream I told Monty about in the park. The owner was a kind old woman. I loved being surrounded by stories all day. I did not make much money, but I was happy. This was a new kind of rich. Monty and I lived like good friends. He was always respectful. He was always kind. He gave me space when I needed it. He made me laugh. We cooked simple dinners together in his small kitchen. We talked for hours about our days and our dreams. He painted his beautiful art, and I read my favorite books. His small apartment started to feel like my home. It was not big, but it was full of warmth. One evening, I was looking at a new painting Monty had just finished. It was a picture of a woman. She was sitting on a park bench. The sun was on her face. I looked closely. The woman was me. Monty came and stood behind me. We were quiet for a long moment. We just looked at the painting together. "I started that the day after I met you at the gallery," he said softly. "Steph, I need to tell you something important. I think I have been falling in love with you since that first night at the party. Remember, when you dropped your purse?" My heart felt like it was going to burst open with happiness. I slowly turned around to face him. His kind, brown eyes were looking at me. They were full of so much love. It was a feeling I had never known. Tears of happiness filled my eyes. They ran down my face. "Monty," I said, my voice shaking, "I think I've been falling in love with you too." He slowly raised his hand. He gently wiped a tear from my cheek with his thumb. Then he leaned in closer. He kissed me. It was not a secret or scared kiss. It was a kiss full of promise. It was full of hope. It was a kiss for a new beginning. I had married the wrong person. It was a terrible mistake. That mistake caused me so much pain. But that mistake led me here. It led me to this small, warm apartment. It led me to this incredible man. As he held me in his arms, I knew, with all my heart, that I was finally with the right person.